Hey guys, today we're going to go over the Analects of Confucius 7.10, which is again pretty short, but it shows how deeply Confucius values the moral atmosphere of grief, and this time it shows constraint after or during one's own mourning, instead of like last time we talked about restraint shown during another person's mourning. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started. 7.10, on a day when the master had wept, he never sang. Okay, so wept is more like a private and really formal kind of lamentation and grief. It's not really like if he got hurt, he cried. It's not like that. It's just it's crying when someone he loved had passed away. What this basically means is that Confucius won't mix mourning and song together on the same day. And that's because right after or right during mourning, he can't just return to singing and happiness like nothing had happened. And although he's not criticizing music, and music is something that he actually really likes, Confucius just says that it's really improper to immediately go from feeling really sad to feeling really happy. It's just very unnatural, and it feels kind of, or looks kind of hypocritical in Confucius' sense, and kind of shallow, mostly because it's if you can somehow switch from genuine sadness to happiness, then you might not be actually feeling genuine at all. The grief might have not sank in, and so that's not really genuine. And as we might know, Confucius really loves the idea of sincerity and being genuine. So everything must fit into the conditions or the situations of the day, even music, even mourning. So for Confucius, if he has mourned, for example, today, then his entire day will be affected with that atmosphere, with that mood. So this passage shows us ritual propriety, as in it's not just ritual propriety doesn't just tell us what to do and how to do it, but it also tells us when to do it, because every single situation has its own reaction to it. So ritual propriety, although it does seem rigid, again, it's supposed to make us really fluent along the wave or the current of life and really react to whatever situation that life throws at us. So the same action could be appropriate and inappropriate in certain or different situations. So for example, like music. If you were just mourning maybe a few hours ago or something like that, if you truly felt deep grief, sincere grief, if it actually sank in, if what you felt was actually genuine, then you shouldn't be able to switch so quickly from sadness to happiness. And it's technically improper to do that as well. So music in this situation isn't very proper. So it isn't very appropriate in this situation. But in other situations, like if you're celebrating something, then of course you can do music. Of course that's appropriate. And at the same time, this passage is not a universal rule that you cannot sing after you cry. It's more like you shouldn't rush so much from one emotion to the other, from sadness to happiness, in the way that it makes grief more shallow than it has to be. So because Confucius takes these mourning rituals so seriously, he's just telling us that you should let those deep and important emotions have their proper duration and dignity. And yeah, that'll be all today. I hope you learned something, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!